Iconic interviews brought to you by Tesla Spark Plugs, Thursday's Bar and No Grill, and the color blue. This week,
I don't know why this interview had to be so early in the morning. I don't look so good so early this morning, but you'll have to do. What is this for again?
You ready to go?
Yes, go ahead.
July 13th, 2011, we're here with Lord Abernathy. Thank you for inviting us into your home, Lord.
Oh, yes. My pleasure.
Why don't you tell us your full name, though?
Oh, that would be Lord Smitten Abernathy. Yes.
And
Your assistant back there, is she going to sit in on this? So.
yeah, she might. So, you were born in let's see now, 1960,
Do you know the answer?
1950?
No.
What was it now? It's
Let's
kind of some...
much further, 1936, back when horse-drawn carriages were in its splendor and everybody was using them to go places.
Tell us about the horse and buggies.
Oh, the horse and buggies. When I was about 8 years old, my father bought our first horse-drawn buggy, and I must say it was such a delight to be able to roll down the cobble streets and look down upon the peasants, and it was it's so hard to explain, but it was just a grand time in my life. And
So you were upper class then, is that right?
I wouldn't say upper class. I would say upper crust class. I know that sounds so, but it was true. Should I be looking directly into the camera, or should I be...
You can look at me. That's fine.
Okay.
Whatever's comfortable, really.
Well, it's sort of over your camera.
So the time that you spent living with gorillas.
I knew you were going to bring that up. My dad, shall we say, had a nervous breakdown, and on holiday in Africa, he decided that he no longer wanted to stay with us. And he didn't give me an exact reason. He just said, Smitten, you are the man of the family now. And he left myself and my mother to fend for ourselves. And
Take care of the gorillas, I guess.
I'm sorry?
And to take care of the gorillas, I guess.
Well, no, as it turned out, the gorillas took care of my mother. They killed her after 2 weeks. We were on that blasted... I can't even say when. It was just...
That's okay. Take your time.
It just brings back certain memories that I cannot to wish upon other people. It's just...
And is this when you started working on time travel?
Yes. The main gorilla, Rastus, he brought me these plans. I don't know how on earth he came up with these. Do gorillas even write? He brought me these schematics for this particular machine, and it said the time travel machine by Rastus, the main gorilla. But I wasn't. As you say, I wasn't proficient with tools. I didn't know what to do. I could possibly crack a coconut over a rock and possibly make this time travel machine out of 1,500 coconuts or whatever it may take to build such a thing. But like I said, I wasn't proficient with tools. I didn't have any tools, and probably...
But you have the distinction of having the designs and the plans for designing time travel. And designing the time travel, but then losing the plans. So you knew how to time travel, but then the plans were lost, and we lost that.
Well, they weren't lost. They weren't lost. Had Rastus been able to speak clearly, I would have known he was hungry. Instead, he ate the plans. 2 hours later, he defecated them out. But they were useless at that point. I couldn't read the schematics to save my life.
But you did travel through time.
Yes, eventually. 2 months went by, and I gathered enough coconuts and rocks and branches, and I built my time traveling machine, and it was glorious.
Where did you go? What years did you go to?
Well, I mean, where does where does one start when you have this machine at your disposal? Of course, I went to the birth of Jesus, the time of Jesus. Little did I know it was just a hoax. There was no Jesus. Just a silly carpenter building tables in the corner. And he didn't even call himself Jesus. He called himself Jesus.
And where else? Where else did you go?
You don't want to talk about Jesus anymore. Well, okay, fine. Well, I figure, enough of the past. Let's go to the future. Something quite unbelievable. So I went to the year 2126. Not a good idea. They laughed at me. They laughed.
I couldn't imagine why, though, really.
Well, they said my time traveling machine was made of coconuts. And they laughed, but I said it works. It works.
What was it like? What's the Earth like in 2126?
Not much different than it is today.
Horse and buggies, or?
No, they don't have horse-drawn buggies in the future. They did away with that. It's horse-drawn pumpkins now.
And are you saying that I mean, what did they think of your attire?
Oh, they love me for my attire. I must say, you're walking around the streets with this on.
And did men in the future wear lipstick and blush, or did men?
Oh yes.
So
in fact, the whole gender thing switched over. Women no longer wore makeup, and men wore all the makeup. In fact, the more makeup you wore, it indicated how rich you were, or how poor you were, depending. The poor people had to use blood to dabble on their lips.
it's not upper crust.
Definitely not upper crust. Most definitely not.
And so now
But people had to make do.
So in the future, people are having to make do, just like they were in your past. And now, did you have this makeup going in the past? Is it something you learned in the future and liked and brought back with you?
Well, little does anybody know, this is permanent. This is permanent lipstick, permanent eyeliner, permanent blush. I couldn't be bothered to put this on every day.
Is that blemish permanent too, or is that?
Yes. I've had it for 2 weeks now. It won't go away. It just will not go away. I've tried as hard as I could. Foxy something or other. Moron. I don't know.
And your favorite ice cream flavor?
Yes. Pussy flavored ice cream.
Oh, tell us about that. I've read about that.
Well, they don't serve it everywhere, but the few places that do, you must go there and try it. But remember, not to take too long of a lick. Otherwise, the ice cream tastes like a butthole. That's the trick.
So
2 licks at least.
So this idea that you have to be running for the president of the United States, you're not from the United States, right?
No.
And you do know that if you're not born in the United States, you can't run for president of the United States.
Silly rules, meant to be broken, but as of yet, they haven't. But I will one day be president of the United States. That's all I can say about that.
So tell me a little bit about the near-death experience you and I were talking about earlier.
On one of my adventures in the time-traveling machine, I didn't input something correctly, and we landed in the dinosaur age, right on the ledge of a cliff. If I had just input one more number, we would have been over on the safe part by at least 5 feet. But no, I had drank just a wee bit too much the night before, and I didn't input that one number, and now we're on the ledge, teetering ever so slightly. Had I not thrown up on that side of the time traveling machine to balance out the weight, I wouldn't be here talking to you now. Turns out my vomit balanced out the ship. And here we are, talking.
I mean, I'm glad that you didn't die in that near-death experience, because I mean, you invented such a wonderful sporting event. I mean, if you had died, we never would have had that. What about this sporting event that you're trying to make popular here in the United States?
Oh, which one? The first one or the?
Well, both of them are fascinating. So,
Well, I just combined the sport of high-line tennis. It's quite easy, really. I mean, if it weren't for so many deaths on the court, it probably would have been a very popular game. But,
oh, because of the bears
well,
that you introduced to the.
that...
See, a lot of people kind of say that adds a gladiator element, and it's controversial here in the U.S. But you think that
it wasn't...
can I call you Smitty? Is that okay? Or
you can call me whatever you like.
so, Smitty, I mean, what about that? What about the fact that in the United States we don't, we may not think that it's okay to send lions and tigers and bears out like the old gladiator days while you're playing tennis, golf. What did you describe it as again? A combination of kickball and dodgeball? Was that it?
Well, yeah, something like that. I mean...
Mm. With bears.
With bears, yes. I mean, truthfully, the bears weren't my initial idea. I had come up with an idea to have, going back to my younger days, the monkeys. The monkeys would have just been ideal for the sport, but these bears were introduced not by me, but by another sect who thought it would be quite keen. I mean, it did work for a while, but I mean, you saw the outcome. Too many people were dying, and it wasn't because the balls were hitting each other so hard. It was because the bears just had their way, especially when they hadn't eaten for 2 days. Anybody could see that. Damn fools.
But you're thinking that this sporting event can compete with the likes of the NFL and the NBA and Major League Baseball. And
those sports. Do you really call them sports? Those aren't sports. People don't die. Well, maybe 1 or 2 here and there if you get hit in the head with 100-mile-an-hour football coming at you. But you have to introduce the wild animal. That is a sport.
I think
and gasoline. Yeah, the gasoline makes good for that as well.
Well, Smitty, I mean, I just want to thank you for joining us today.
Oh, it was my pleasure, young man, and thanks to you, dear girl. Your assistant is quite attractive, I must say.
Thank you.
If I swung that way, I might have a go at her, but as it is, I might have a go at your pet monkey over there.
Well, more on that next time.
Great, thank you.
All right, goodbye now, Smitty.
Goodbye.